The Msunduzi municipality says it will continue to implement credit control against those who are not paying for services. Now, 23 schools owe the municipality about 23 million rand in unpaid services. That's for water and electricity. Let's unpack the story further with the Education Department in Kwa-Zulu-Natal. Muzi Mahlambi, thanks very much indeed for coming on. Muzi is the spokesperson for the department. What's your immediate reaction, Muzi, to this decision by the municipality?
We, as the government department, we also support the decision and the position by municipality, because they have to collect revenue in order to continue to provide services to the communities and other structures within those communities, and that becomes us as schools. But what we are doing is to engage the municipality to say, look, we are all government entities here, and there are some factors that needs to be taken into consideration when you do apply your decision. To say let's take a trip to these schools and see what surrounds them. You will see that they, as in the form of homes, some informal settlements and stuff like that. And the second thing will be to say let's check whether these schools meters are working. And let's check the connections, whether there are no illegal connections, as it were, because we've been to some of the schools when schools are closed, but you will see the meter is running like it's business, as if learners and teachers were at school. More especially when you go to some of these schools during weekends, you will see that someone else is utilizing these services other than the schools. But that's a socio-economic factors that we have to deal with, both ourselves and municipality. What we have since done is to sit down with municipality, like we have done with the eThekwini municipality, where we have made arrangements where we've made arrangements that they are going to be these arrangements where we bail out these schools such that we are then able to then moving forward. We are able then to come up with a mechanism, kind of a mutual understanding as to how much we owe and how much schools owe, and then we make a monthly arrangement that per month this is what we are going to be paying and stuff like that.
And was this not done for the 23 schools? Was this not done for the 23 schools that have been disconnected?
Msunduzi, we have not experienced this. But with eThekwini, we have experienced this. So we have got now an established mechanism that we have used with eThekwini that will transfer to Msunduzi. Talks are at an advanced stage. Come examinations, we are not going to be disturbed and stuff like that.
So the issue, of course, is, yes, the examinations. This is the cohort of learners that would have suffered greatly under COVID-19. They would have done distance learning and they would have been impacted by lockdown restrictions, right? Now they face yet another hurdle, trying to write not only their finals in 100 days' time, but their preliminary exams in just a couple of weeks' time. And activists in the sector say accurately that this is effectively denying these learners their constitutional right to an education. Learners cannot be expected to go to school with no flushing toilets and no electricity.
What is pleasing and encouraging is that that understanding municipality has it, because we have shared that kind of a sentiment with them. That is why they have agreed for all parties to come to the table to negotiate and make arrangements.
Whose responsibility is the payment of these services?
Well, schools do get a portion from us to say that some of the monies that they get, some of it they have to pay. But like we are saying, the utilization of such services cannot only be attributed to our schools only, but communities also do connect to our schools, which then shoots the bill of our schools such that our schools cannot cope with the payment of such.
Yeah. Is this a crisis situation for the Education Department in KZN, Mr. Mahlambi? In a term that has only 10 weeks, very little teaching time, every single day matters?
Yeah, that is why we're saying our positive that we have here is that we are speaking to a progressive municipality that have got that understanding when it was shared with them, and all of us have agreed that we will try by all means to avoid such a situation where our learners continue to lose days of not being at school at the expected a time of 7 hours and stuff like that.
When will the lights be switched on? When will the water come back on at these 23 schools? Can you answer that?
We are working around the clock that come next week. We will have the situation coming back to normality.
All right, so that's almost a week of school lost in a term that is 10 weeks long. I imagine for the department it must be an incredibly difficult and for learners as well, learners who are trying to do their utmost, often in incredibly difficult home situations already. Most of these schools are no-paying schools as far as we can tell. It's just another hurdle for them.
Well, it's not as bad as it's been reported, because some of the schools they in any case don't have electricity at all. Some of the schools, after all, they don't have water, but they depend on water tankers and some boreholes. So it's not like there's no teaching and learning at all that is happening. But we are saying if we do have these services 100%, and our teaching and learning will also be 100% smooth.
Sorry, you're saying the situation's not that bad because they don't have water and electricity anyway? So the issues and the challenges for the Education Department in KZN are much deeper than just a week-long switch off of these services?
That is why we're saying these are some of the socio-economic issues that the government of the day has identified and is prioritizing in terms of addressing.
Sure. Muzi Mahlambi, let me thank you for your time this afternoon, the spokesperson for the Education Department in KwaZulu-Natal.